set new benchmarks in the education system. So it's my privilege to have you, both of you, on this board. Welcome, ma'am.
Thank you. It's a privilege to be here with you.
So we are truly
Thank you, Mr.
grateful.
Chetan, for a wonderful introduction. Thank you and look forward to the session.
Sure, ma'am. So just coming to the first question to Madhu, ma'am. What do you think are the key challenges students face when transitioning from school to university, and how can schools help prepare them for this shift?
Key challenges the students are facing, and what was the second question? How can the students prepare for it?
Correct,
Okay.
ma'am.
So, as you know that I'm based out of Tokyo, and we have students here from offering different curricula, CBSE and Cambridge and the IB program, IB diploma program. Students come from diverse backgrounds. They could be Indians with the mindset of clearing the competitive exams and preparing for them. And there are students who are local Japanese students who look forward to joining the local universities. And then there are students who are coming from the international background who would be looking at getting the admission to the best of the top 20 universities in US, UK, Australia. So with each of the mindset of the students, so their individual goals are different, and likewise their preparation for the next phase of their life is also different. For example, if you have to focus, you are an Indian student studying outside, what are your prospects of getting into the NEET exam or qualifying for the engineering exam? Would be a little less than in comparison to a student who is based in India, who's already taking a very aggressive coaching for 4 to 5 years and preparing for the exam. So there, the guidance is simple that, okay, you first focus on your CBSE and then take on the next step. So take baby steps towards your goal. First focus on the immediate priorities, and then you can spend a year for preparation of the exams. So academic readiness is definitely part of that, maintaining a strong academic performance throughout the high school over the multiple years. That's something which students out to have it. Then standardizing of the test like SATs, ACTs, or any other examinations, the students should keep their doors open for those preparations as well, because early preparation and multiple attempts might be needed. Additionally, most of the universities, if you are not going for a competitive exams, most of the universities are not just looking at academic track records. They are looking at what is the impact or what is the student going to bring to my university, as a student, as an international student, or as a student from an international school background. So additionally, in general, the schools ensure that the students have some community connect. They are doing some leadership roles, so they have some training on leadership. Could be part of student leadership council, could be part of clubs or projects, or they have demonstrated leadership skills in certain activities. Then preparation could be on personal statements and essays. So when the children are building up their personal statements, the focus is showing the passion for something, the course which they are looking at. Suppose a child is looking for a course in sciences. So there is a passion for STEM, or the student has taken up certain project which has given the student an ability to showcase that the child is able to organize a set of things, or maybe do a research in that field of area, or has done a project which is impressive enough to create some impact at local level or national level or even at international level. So these are some of the things. Is it going to be question wise, or I continue those 12 minutes?
It will be a question wise, ma'am.
Okay, sorry, then I think
No
I
issues,
give the
no issues,
to
no
Ms.
issues.
Surjeet now because I went in the
So now
flow.
coming to you, Sujit ma'am. So being a leader from such a reputed institution from Greater Faridabad, so how do you support students in building the necessary academic and emotional skills to cope with the transition to higher education? Sujit ma'am.
Yeah. Am I audible to you, Chetan?
Yes, ma'am, loud and
All
clear.
right. So, one of the priorities for me as a school leader at my school has been to create an environment in which ideation is strong, there is freedom to ideate, and ideas are not lost. There is an environment of support for students' aspirations and their goals. So that has helped us not only to expand the canvas of our own achievements and domains of functioning, but also become a school that is fully responsive to the child of today. And we've really made an effort on this in this direction in a big way, and it has paid us huge dividends. Secondly, we try and organize the senior year calendar of activities in such a way that there are opportunities available for students to take up projects which will be in sync with their aspirations for applying for universities in India or abroad in terms of developing a good CV, interest within the school, leadership within the school, exposure within the school, and also beyond school. Also, we've made an effort to keep an ongoing conversation on which are the new avenues that are opening up. So the constant search has been any university, any college opening a new course, or what is it? Let's bring it to the school's attention, to the children's attention, and also organize conversations with parents so that there is a greater receptivity to what the students want to do vis-a-vis what the parents would like them to do. So these efforts and they coming together, they have worked for us and made us a very responsive school. And I think there's been a greater sense of achievement, a greater sense of direction and happiness because of initiatives like these. I've only mentioned a few.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you. So, as a principal of a school in Tokyo, Madhu ma'am, how important is it for schools to collaborate with universities during this transition process? Are there specific programs or initiatives you have seen that successfully bridge the gap between the two?
This is a wonderful question, and I'll be happy to share, that as a Indian international school in Tokyo, um, currently our cohort is multi-diverse, and we have a very comprehensive university admission and career counseling cell. And because we are a part of a large chain of group under the Global Schools Network, so these counselors connect across the various geographies. It could be, Far East Asia, Middle East, and India, and Singapore, and um, mm, uh, as far as Cambodia or Korea, etc. Now, when these counselors connect, they get a knowledge base across the various regions, and then individual student counseling begins from grade 8 and above. So the students first get to know what are their basic skills or capabilities. So what is their inclination? So that is done scientifically. And then the children choose subjects as per their desire and liking. And as Ms. Surjit said, that's wonderful point. She said that it should be as per the student what aspiration, rather than parents aspiration. So it should be a good balance of what the student wants to do and what the parent can afford the child to do, both the things, because the financial aspect is supported from the parents.
Correct.
So in Tokyo, what we have been able to successfully do is that we have a memorandum of understanding with top universities in Japan. So they give our students a preference over the others in terms of admissions. So that helps us in aspects. It's not a compromise on the academic qualifications, but it's let's say, your seats are reserved and you will get them. And that gives a lot of confidence to our parents and students that look, we will get a university and a course of choice. And this is working very well for us. Having said that, we ensure that the students get to do internships or mentorships or job shadowing, having career fairs, career talks, which normally, most of the international schools do, visit to universities. These are common features as a part of the career counseling calendar.
Right.
So once
Actually,
the child is well prepared, then the let's say the stress or the anxiety part of it is addressed already. And this because the preparation begins 4 years in advance. So by the time the child has to get the university offers, is the child is already started getting multiple offers, and then it's the child and parents' choice, where they would want the child to join.
absolutely, ma'am. So actually, the preparation is a basic part for transition for schooling to moving towards the university or towards the professional life. So Sujit, ma'am, how do you balance the academic rigor with the development of soft skills like time management and self-motivation, which are essential for university processes?
You build them into the system. It's not as if you have a separate timetable for these, but you organize the experiences at school in such a way that you know that these experiences carry with them the potential to foster important competencies and skills that you are looking for students to develop. And for example, at the senior school, the students' council elections, which are entirely, like democratic, absolutely democratic, and the student leaders are voted to positions of power by the students of the school through the process of canvassing after a shortlisting has been done by a committee which involves parents, teachers, and student reps. So there's a huge experience of leadership and responsible canvassing with certain value systems in place, and for the students all around to select their representative and why they hear them. The students present themselves, there are arguments and debates and discussions. So you have to move your way forward and make your presence felt. Then the school assemblies are, they are allotted to different classes. So they are entirely 100% class leadership event. And similarly, there are other opportunities. And I think the nicest thing about DPS Greater Faridabad during my tenure with them as founder principal has been the amount of conversations we've had. I mean, it's always been an open door policy at school. No student ever waited outside my door, not even for a second. The guard just opened the door and the child walked in. So everything stopped for the child, always. So good amount of conversation was possible. Lot of resolution of issues of concern happened over open conversations where students were encouraged to be fair, correct in their response to situations, but the school was willing to listen, hear you out. Good amount of bonding was in place, relationships were strong at school, and I don't think I ever lost a relationship because of an issue, either with a teacher or a student or a parent. So I think on the whole the environment was vibrant, are full of opportunities, constantly moving, new ideas flowing in, lot of movement beyond our school to other schools and other organizations, lot of people visiting us, a good amount of opportunity to write, to compare, to act, to innovate, like the ATL was hugely strong. So things like that. I think it's been the canvas of opportunities and the environment of genuine nurturing with care that made a difference for us. I think it's our response to our world, which was our greatest strength. That's what I feel.
Right. So, coming to you, Madhu ma'am, as you may have heard from some of the top business professionals in India, business leaders rather, they are just they are just claiming that the stuff they are getting from the universities are not prepared for the professional life. So what do you think that the student which handed over to the universities or to the higher education from the school side are also responsible for the same, or there is a gap from university and professional life which makes this gap bigger, or how we can as a school leaders or educators can bridge this?
Yes. So, as you know that this next these last 20 years or the next coming 30 years is an era of disruption. And when you talk about disruption, whether it is through the artificial intelligence or whether it is through the uh, computers, not computers, I can say through robotics and through Internet of Things, so many,
Digital solutions,
yeah, IOUs or whatever you call them, IoTs. Now,
IoT.
in this era, when there is a particular skill to be needed, is for preparing the students for the uncharted path, for the path which is not even yet discovered, or for the things which are not even there in the market. So when companies are saying that they don't have skill set to match, it is the whole ecosystem or the chain has to evolve accordingly. Now, schools being the core zone for the preparation, or you can say, from there the seedlings is being planted and grown. So the school's ownership is to give the skills to prepare for the future. As a school, many schools try putting in instilling 21st century skills in the students, be it communication skills, be it digital literacy, or be it any other skills which are needed for that age group. What happens next is, are the universities equally current in their syllabus? Are they giving them enough opportunities to go and do some field work or do some projects or actions? Because this has to continue. If the universities and schools are not in sync with each other, then obviously the final product which the companies get or the employability of the students will be in question. Then you will I mean the gap has to be bridged at all levels. For example, I can see that the new education policy in India, the CBSC, which has come up, has addressed certain aspects of the curriculum, the national curriculum of the country, which kind of is needed. If it wasn't done, then you continue to have the same set of syllabus and question papers, and all the preparation is not happening, and that is where the gap was there. So at least you're happy to see that there is a new look to the education, which is very much required for a young a country with the largest young population. And likewise, the universities also need to recognize that. Now, from my understanding, many of them have not. Some private universities are coming up with some good courses which could give the children an opportunity. But by and large, still, a large population of university courses are still getting redundant, is the word. So it has to be a mix and match, and then only the children will have they will have the employability skills. Otherwise, your employability skills and your school education or the university education sometimes do not match. And there are lot many examples to share. My own students, who have completed, who have got scholarship in students who have completed courses from, let's say, the Korea University, or who have completed from some other, especially the science courses, engineering or mechanical engineering or computer science. Once I meet them as alumni, their employability is in a totally different field. It has nothing to do with what they studied for 15 to 17 years. And why so? Because that field gives them a better placement and a better. So this match has to be, it is a chain, you see. And the weakest link at the moment is the higher education.
Correct, 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 correct.
That has to be addressed at all levels. I think that's where, to my perspective, I think that's where we need to look at.
Right. So coming to the first stakeholder of this chain, the parent. So, ma'am, what do you think? What role, Sujit, ma'am, what role does parental involvement play in helping students navigate the transitions? And how can parents be better equipped to support their children?
I think parents play a very, very important role, and they are co partners in this journey, not just in school, but also for the transition. And I think till the conclusion of education and a child stepping into a professional line where the parent recedes into the background. So your parent is the one who's around you 24/7 for a conversation, for a discussion, for a way forward. And if the parent is motivated by the right kind of attitude, first of all, I think a positivity, followed by understanding your own child, not casting your child into a mold that you want, but understanding your child with all the positives and the areas for development, the kind of intelligences. We know we understand multiple intelligences. And so, if one understands the child well and then propels the child towards a direction where there is a good possibility of success, that is one thing. Secondly, it's important to revise stereotypes in terms of one's thinking. I no longer think it's important to be an engineer or a doctor. We have a plethora of successful careers available. In fact, any area that you can become excellent at, really stand out at, can become a career for you today. It's a beautiful world out there. The canvas is huge. So I think it's important for parents to recognize possibilities for their children which are beyond the stereotypical one, to understand the kind of support the child will require rather than take decisions, have good discussions, weigh them out, even write them down on paper, the pros and cons of various situations and options, and then arrive at decisions and always have a plan B. Never just focus on one plan, and in case you don't move there, look at it as a failure of virtually everything in child's life. No, there should be number of plans in place. The world is changing, opportunities are aplenty, so be willing to search them out, go beyond your comfort zone. All right. And of course, the digital front offers a whole uh, instrument, a set of instruments to explore the world. Use them, talk to people, reach out. I think parents should enlarge the canvas of their child's possibilities just the way the school should. Both of them need to do it and carry the child along with them, giving him or her a voice.
It's wonderful, wonderful discussing the things towards the transition from school to university. So finally, from both of you, I would like to request you to offer one piece of advice to students entering universities for the first time. What would it be? First from Madhu.
Be prepared uh, for the next phase of your life. It is, exams are just one phase at school, but not the life itself. Universities are a bigger canvas, and be prepared to explore many such possibilities in the universities. That's an age and time to explore as many things possible, which may define your career, future career. That is one thing I think I would advise to a child, and that's the make the most of the time available.
Thank you,
Um,
ma'am. Sujit ma'am, please.
Yeah, so Chetan, I would say carry a coin in your pocket, whatever you're wearing, some pocket somewhere, carry a coin and feel it now and then, and recognize that this coin has two sides to it, the heads and the tail. And so the good things, the success, the challenges, the failures, they will together make the coin whole. You can't have one side of it and make the coin valuable. So take the positives and the failures in stride. Just remember to learn from your failures. Look at them as stepping stones, look at them as experiences that are talking to you. Because really, life is for movement forward, and nothing should really stop you. And you must have a strong inner voice which says, all right, attempted, didn't happen, so what have I gained? All right, this, a friend, a knowledge, something. All right, and move on. So college is all about welcoming new things, enjoying the experiences, gaining out of them, and looking ahead, constantly looking ahead. Like Steve Jobs said, he said, be foolish and stay hungry, right? So that's what you should do. College is all about growing up your way.
Thank you, ma'am. It was wonderful talking both of you, and I'm heartily thankful for your valuable time and valuable insights for children across globe. And I'm looking forward to such sessions, and I'm thankful to EduTV, Pranavji, Tanya ma'am, and all of you for your wonderful time, which is given for the children's welfare. And I'm looking forward to such productive and wonderful sessions in future. Thank you, ma'am. Thank you from my side.
Thank you. Thank you, Chetan.
Banerjee.
Thank
Thank you,
you.
Thank you,
Edu
Banerjee.
TV.
Thank
Thank
you,
you, Madhuji.
EduTV.
What a pleasure to hear you.
Likewise, Mr. G. Thank you, Mr.
Thank you.
Chetan, Mr. G, Pranav, and
Yeah,
Tanya
yeah.
for
Thank you, Pranav and
putting
Tanya, too.
us together in the same forum.
Yes.